Now, the political uncertainty continues over in Haiti. A meeting of the Transitional Council is due to reconvene today after members failed to agree on how the body will function over the weekend. With the country rocked by a spate of gang violence, hunger in Haiti is on the rise, with roughly half the population struggling to feed themselves. We can now bring in Jean-Martin Bauer, representative for the World Food Programme in Haiti. Thank you very much for joining us on the program today. You are in Port-au-Prince. Can you describe what you are seeing, and is it as bad as it looks?
Look, we're ringing the alarm about the situation in Haiti. The political and security crisis in Haiti is turning into a humanitarian emergency. Last week, we released data that shows that 5 million Haitians, about half of the assessed population, is facing acute food insecurity. This is the highest number on record. It's the worst crisis since the 2010 earthquake, and we need action now.
How is the WFP able to operate in the capital with gangs controlling over 80% of the city and now going into affluent areas?
We have to be extremely cautious, and we also need to choose partners who can have access to these very difficult neighborhoods. We're proud to work with local non-governmental organizations who prepare hot meals in 4 central kitchens. The meals are put onto minibuses. We get them down to the areas where the displaced population lives. We've been providing assistance on 23 sites in Port-au-Prince. Just over the weekend, we were providing approximately 17 to 18,000 meals every single day. And this is important because in Port-au-Prince, according to the IOM, there are more than 88,000 displaced people, and that's rising. So by working with local organizations with a good knowledge of the lay of the land, a good awareness of security, we're able to continue delivering.
You said there are 88,000 displaced people. How does the WFP ensure security and ensure that your trucks are not looted?
We make sure that we have an assessment of what's going on a continuous basis. We also work on community acceptance. We want to make sure that people in this country, that people in the communities that we support know exactly who we are, and that's a way of reducing the amount of risk we take on. We've also done something very important over the past few years is shorten our supply chain. We buy as much as we can from local farmers, from local businesses. And that allows us to avoid choke points like the port or like the roads and other infrastructures that could be controlled by armed groups here in Port-au-Prince. This has allowed us to continue delivering school meals at scale in this country. Every single day, the World Food Programme provides a hot meal made out of local foods, including rice, plantain, carrots, cabbage, fresh, good local foods to 250,000 children. So by shortening our supply chain and working with local actors, we're reducing our level of risk.
You mentioned that the WFP is operating at 23 sites, I believe, in the capital, and you want to scale this up. How do you do that with the security situation the way it is?
Well, what we do is set up central kitchens. These are places where we cook meals at a large scale, and we dispatch the meals from them. So those central kitchens are located in relatively safe areas in Port-au-Prince's green zone. They're managed by local NGO partners, and they're able to get the food from those safe areas to areas that are more risky. And by using that strategy of preparing meals in bulk in safe areas and getting them out as needed and as the security situation evolves, we are able to reach the people that are targeted for the people who have been recently displaced. The first weekend of March alone, you had 15,000 newly displaced people. And last week, the IOM reported that 33,000 people have left Port-au-Prince entirely. This is a mounting problem.
You're in Port-au-Prince now. I understand that you were in other parts of the country before. Can you talk us through how those parts are doing, and is the security, the main insecurity, limited to the capital?
So the situation in Cap-Haïtien, where I was 2 weeks ago, is better. Of course, it's also facing some problems, but it's not as bad as Port-au-Prince. But in Cap-Haïtien, for instance, children go to school. The markets are open, supermarkets are open. And that's just a very different situation. Here in Port-au-Prince, you haven't had a flight from outside for almost 3 weeks. The port has been very much disrupted. There hasn't been a ship at the public port since March 5th. The roads in and out of Port-au-Prince are controlled by armed groups. And that's just not the case in other parts of the country. Of course, Artibonite, the breadbasket of Haiti, has fallen under the influence of armed groups. And we do see quite a lot of issues there, including farmers abandoning their land. The problem we're seeing is that hunger and conflict are tightly correlated in Haiti, and they're advancing hand in hand. And a place like Artibonite, the breadbasket of the country, isn't as productive as it used to be. 3,000 hectares of land have been abandoned. The farmers aren't able to go out and farm because it's too dangerous. The market women who bring food surplus producing areas to urban markets, well, they're hiding at home because they're being racketeered. They're being held for ransom, and sometimes victims of gender-based violence at the hand of these gangs. So the very people who ought to be feeding the country just aren't able to do that, even outside Port-au-Prince.
You mentioned that schools are not operating in the capital. Given that, and that there's this general sense of chaos, and now people are staring food insecurity in the face, what sense do you get from the people? Are they just looking to get out, or do they think that better days will come?
Look, the people I talk to here tell me that this is the worst that they've seen. This is the worst situation we've seen in Haiti, which is a troubled country. This is a country with, unfortunately, a history of these issues, and this is as bad as it's been. In terms of food security, there was no acute food insecurity in Haiti in 2016. Hurricane Matthew hit, there were 1 million people who were acutely food insecure as a result. COVID hit in 2020, we got to 4 million people in acute food insecurity, and that's been 4 million since 2020, every single year. And right now, we've hit 5 million. This is according to the release, the data release we published last week. So what Haiti is facing is years of hunger, years of mass hunger. And that's been corrosive for the social fabric. It's probably contributed to the crisis we're seeing now, and we need to respond to it. We need to respond to this hunger crisis with a long-term commitment to rebuilding Haiti's food system and also providing immediate assistance to those people who've been displaced. We need to work on both at the same time. And I'm frightened that the international community hasn't contributed to humanitarian programs to the extent it should. The humanitarian response plan for Haiti is only 6% funded, and WFP alone needs $96 million for the next 6 months just in order to keep functioning in this country. We need much more commitment from our donors.